Smart businesses are switching channels. They're changing A2P and opting in for P2P. Instant connectivity to your GoHighLevel account and no unpredictable delivery with restrictions, throttling, and messages not being delivered. We send them peer-to-peer, we send them from real devices, no A2P requirement. Every message you send actually gets delivered. And not just delivered on a blue bubble. And when we see typing simulation happening on a blue bubble, there's actually zero possibility that it's spam or automation. So people feel like they're talking to another person. This is a game changer. Did you get rejected by A2P? Well, join the line because it's extremely long, and it's about as long as the list of requirements needed to actually get an approval. Today, I'm gonna be going through why you got rejected and why it doesn't matter anymore. So let's talk about A2P. If you've noticed, as a business owner, one of the most inconvenient things about messaging on a CRM system these days is A2P. Now, along with A2P comes a lot of other things. And let's just be completely clear about why this was actually initiated and gotten worse over time. And it's not because of what your business is doing. It's actually because of the larger entities with class action lawsuits getting affected. And so therefore, they are rolling down the collateral damage, impacting millions and millions of businesses by rolling out stricter A2P compliance codes, especially with 10DLC. A2P messaging has increased the filtration system and the labeling of spammy messages, which means that at any point, your messages can be blocked, restricted, or throttled. You have to use opt-out language, which means stop, unsubscribe, or opt out. These triggers obviously create low trust for your campaigns. Even if you just paid for a lead to come into your pipeline, automatically when they see these messages, their initial response is going to be to stop and unsubscribe, which means you are literally flushing cash down the toilet. Users instantly associate these type of messages with spam, phishing, and just overall solicitation. The problem is that they don't trust when they see these stopped opt-out messages because they're used to being spammed from unknown individuals and contacts from this same type of behavior. So it's a conversion issue that you're facing. It's a conversation problem, but it's all stemming from trust and perception. And that's the harsh reality. Let's take a little walk down memory lane, guys, to talk about where we were and where we are now. Back in 2024, I don't know if you guys remember when we actually rolled out A2P, it was the wild, wild west. It was somewhat easier, but I know we were all shocked when they rolled this out because ultimately we were like, what is A2P? I'll be honest with you, fun fact, I actually got on a call with Sean Clark himself because my closer was at a high-level conference in Texas, and he told him that, my CEO is having trouble. She can't get her A2P approved. I think at that point we'd been down for a month. And on a Saturday morning during the conference, Sean Clark actually got on a Zoom call with me and literally helped me get approval. And he obviously knew how to do it. He was the nicest guy in the world. And let me tell you guys, it has kept me to be a fan this entire time. So shout out to Sean Clark for being such literally top tier CEO in the world. Love you, Sean Clark. And obviously we all love what he's built within the GoHighLevel community and GoHighLevel SaaS. Moving on to 2025, last year, guys, we had 10 DLC mandatory. Campaign denials were surging, and we were all trying to find out how to work this application process to get it faster, especially GoHighLevel agency owners. They were struggling with getting their clients. And of course, we all know that there's that little thing called buyer's remorse, where people, when they first buy something from you, they start to doubt if they made the right decision. And when they take sometimes 3, 5, and maybe even 10 days to get an approval for A2P, it can really drag out that process and make a little bit of that doubt sink in for end users. So obviously a lot of agencies didn't quite like that experience. And so they were trying to create a lot of infrastructure, getting approvals right away. And that was kind of getting more systematic. But then 2026 rolled around, guys. And we saw the most strict, the most inconvenient, and all of those tricks that we learned in 2024 and 5 completely out the window. So everything we were trying was no longer working. We see new application processes trying to help us get these approvals automated and more consistent, but ultimately it's a big pain in the you know what. So now we're sitting here trying to figure out how to navigate through this world of opt-out language, spam filters, and not to mention just overall inconvenience for any business to try to make their leads work for their business. Ultimately, when you're using this opt-out language, you're being filtered, you're being blocked, and any lead reactivation, any of these messages that are going out to the leads that you just paid for are being ultimately blocked. Now, this is not your fault. You're a business owner. You want to reach out to the leads that are yours, that have consented and that have agreed. But unfortunately, due to class action lawsuits, improper opt-out, opt-in, consumer trust being lost, and overall different larger issues at hand that have nothing to do with you, you've been a collateral effect of these decisions that don't care if small businesses all over the world are being faced with this huge challenge. So the A2P approval gauntlet, let's talk about it. You need to have a business verification, legal entity, and website. Now you have to have certain language on your website in terms of consent. Registering your campaign's use cases, proof of opt-in, clear and documented. If it's not clear, they'll reject you. Opt-out compliance, stop, help, etc. Message samples. They want to see exactly how you plan to message people. This is literally, the next step is going to be giving a DNA sample, for goodness sakes. I mean, they literally have gone in, and it's not going to get any easier. I don't know if you guys are familiar with any laws or restrictions, but it never gets more lenient, okay? It only gets more strict over time, especially when there's a monopoly like Lead Connector, aka Twilio, on the market. So let's talk about where A2P breaks for most. Unfortunately, if you are, and I'm going to call you out, guys, if this is you, raise your hand in your mind or physically. If you're in real estate and you're rejected by A2P, I'm talking to you. If you are in the affiliate network and you're a broker, if you're in the health and wellness space, peptides, supplements, weight loss, if you're in the debt relief, credit repair, etc., I'm talking to you. Were you rejected by A2P? Marketing agencies, crypto finance trading, coaching, info products, and political messaging, guys. So if I addressed you, I'm talking to you right now. If you were rejected by A2P, you are not alone. There is a huge uptick on the targets that are being aimed at to not get approved and to be rejected for A2P because of the high complaint rates, because of the hard to approve consent application, and the aggressive outreach behavior. They have targeted these specific categories to be rejected and to be more difficult to get approved. Now let's talk about the top reasons why businesses fail their A2P approval. Number one, there's no clear opt-out language. So the consent language isn't visible, and I don't blame you, because obviously who likes a bunch of jargon when you're trying to talk about your product or service? Bad lead sources, so maybe sometimes they're scraped, but most importantly, these leads are probably aged that you've paid for, and so this is an instant flag for them. Reviews can't be verified when looking at your content, and obviously there's some kind of wording that you're using within your campaign that they flag as high risk or soliciting, or something that's a keyword that they consider not usable. And then lastly, just the sudden spikes that trigger that you are spamming. So even if these are leads that maybe are opting in for your webinar, that are opting in for an event that you have going on, you will literally be throttled. That's not the worst part. Not only will you be throttled, they can actually reject your original A2P approval without even telling you. Yes, I repeat, they can reject your A2P application without telling you, and remove your A2P approval without having an ability to appeal it. Not only that, but your messages are a lot of times not even being delivered, but you're paying for them to be delivered. You're paying for each message, even though a lot of times they're never actually being delivered to the end user. It's a travesty. And approval doesn't always mean delivery. So as I said, your messages still get throttled. Campaigns get filtered for no explanation. Numbers get flagged as spam or behavior. In GoHighLevel, we've all seen where our numbers get restricted for the day if we've gotten too many opt-outs or stops. I think it's over like 5%. Delivery restricted even when there's compliance, and campaigns rejected or shut down post-approval, and carrier algorithms consistently changing. So how can we keep up? How can we, in a world that creates the rules without our knowledge, with approvals that don't tell us exactly how to get approved, how do we adapt as business owners? How do we win with the rules of the game changing every year, with new processes and hidden procedures that we don't even know about, with all of these back-end algorithms changing without our knowledge, and the rules of the game just completely unknown for everybody? Doesn't feel like a fair fighting chance, does it? So let's talk about moving to the winner circle. Right? Smart businesses are switching channels. They're changing A2P and opting in for P2P. No more API-based messaging, no heavy filtration, no green bubble, no requiring approval. This is all instant connectivity to your GoHighLevel account and no unpredictable delivery with restrictions, throttling, and messages not being delivered. On the P2P way, we send them peer-to-peer, the new way. We send them from real devices, no A2P requirement at all, higher trust perception, and more consistent delivery. Every message you send actually gets delivered, and not just delivered on a blue bubble. Okay, so this is where you invest in trust, right? In anything, it's all about an investment in business. And when you invest in an iMessage line, you're actually forwarding yourself trust. Just like if you were a TEDx speaker or you were, in Forbes magazine. These are trust signals for buyers. The more trust signals you can give, the more chances they are that they're going to show up to their appointments, they're going to want to close with you. The time that it comes to objection handling, it's going to be handled with more ease because there's going to be less doubt in your prospect's mind about who you are and if they trust you. Remember, the rules of the game: know, like, and trust you, and they're ready to close a deal, guys. So remember, with the blue bubbles, they're seen as personal, not promotional, right? People are used to actual intimate conversations with their family, friend, their mom, their dad on a blue bubble. About 60% of America uses blue bubbles, but when it comes to the business owners, it's like 70 or 80% of them that actually use iMessage line. So there's a huge amount of people and business owners that actually use iMessage. So higher open rates, higher response rates, etc. And when we see typing simulation happening on a blue bubble, there's actually zero possibility that it's spam or automation. So people feel like they're talking to another person. And this is the theory of reciprocity, guys. When people feel like they're with another person, they're not going to treat it like spam. With spam, you block it, you ghost it, you move on, right? You don't deal with it. You don't treat it like it's a human. But when people see another human typing on the other side, they treat the other person with decency. They respond. They give them an actual response with intelligence and with reciprocity, essentially, right? So here's what wins in 2026. Number one, generating leads. Skip the landing pages. Go directly to conversation. First touch is with iMessage, not a green bubble and not with opt-out language. And qualify with AI plus human, so you can have a hybrid if you want your VAs or if you want your setters, all handling these conversations within GoHighLevel on one CRM system to be able to all talk on the iMessage line to your end users, to your leads. This is a game changer. So if you're in those industries that I mentioned, from real estate to crypto to healthcare to weight loss, all of these industries that are considered high risk and you've been rejected by A2P, look no further because the solution is blue and it's waiting for you. So here, the future isn't about the best automation wins. It isn't about the most expensive ad spend. It's literally just about the way you're messaging your leads and how quick you can get them direct to conversation so that you can go ahead and start qualifying them conversationally using the AI and GoHighLevel, using your VAs and staff. But ultimately, you'll see a huge conversion when you're messaging them on a blue bubble with typing simulation with another person on the other side. You get the person-to-person experience, P2P, guys. So this year in 2026, don't wait another year for you to be throttled, restricted, rejected again. Guys, it's time to get accepted and get in the winner circle with the blue bubble on P2P. So if you've ever been rejected or you're tired of dealing with the A2P application game, go ahead and click the link in the description so we can get you signed up for the blue bubble starting today. And if you want to get this in the hands of a friend that needs this, that you know is in a restricted business category, send it to a friend that could use this message today, guys. And I can't wait to talk to you guys soon. I'll see you on the other side. Cheers.